Right now, as we turn to meteorologist Cedric Haynes here in the studio. And Cedric, as we start off the weekend, boy, a big temperature change difference we're noticing as you walked out the door this morning. Definitely a bit colder.
That's right, Latrice. It's a bit colder out there, and as that colder air is moving in, even a couple of snow flurries across the northern half of the area. But here we go. Let's talk about the big picture here with the temperatures. You can see here's our cold front now slicing through the Carolinas and central Georgia. The colder air is lagging a little bit behind the front, but you can see it's now down to 47 degrees in Chattanooga, but 35 degrees in Nashville, 39 in Jackson. So the air is coming from the north and west, and that means overall a cooler day heading our way as we go throughout this afternoon. Now, temperature change from yesterday at this time to today is pretty dramatic. We've got temperatures about 10 to 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday across most of the Tennessee Valley. And again, that's something you're going to notice if you step out the door, and hopefully we can get a couple of peaks of sunshine out there to kind of help make it feel just a little bit better. And I think we will be able to do that as we go throughout the afternoon. But right now, it's still on the cool side out there, but depending on where you live, it's not too bad. 50 degrees in Dalton. Over in Blue Ridge, it's at 52 degrees. How about in Murphy? Yeah, that colder air still really kind of knocking on the doorsteps there. So it's only 57 degrees, but you head back to the west, 43 in Dayton and 33 degrees currently in Altamont. So there's some colder air trying to move in, and as that colder air moves in, notice we're still stuck with some of these clouds out there, and the farther north you go, those clouds have a little bit of moisture in them. So as that colder air is building in, the clouds kind of wring out that extra bit of moisture, and we're getting a couple of those snow flurries. But they're not showing up on radar because typically that happens below where the radar beam is shooting. So the radar beam is up here, the snow flurries and the clouds, they happen here. 47 degrees outside right now. We got that northwest wind making it feel a little on the cooler side. As we look at the visible satellite picture from space, you can see some of these clouds here, but notice some of the breaks showing up here in the valley areas, while still in the higher elevations seeing more widespread cloud cover still. And as we expand the view, you can see those clouds are pretty thick back towards Nashville and Memphis. So it's going to be tough getting the breaks in the clouds across the plateau, but I do think here in the valley, notice how we're starting to see these clouds trying to part a little bit. I think more of that will happen as we go into the afternoon. So in the valley, expect clearing skies as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon. Those temperatures warming up into the 50s across the area. But again, if you're in the higher elevations along the plateau, it will likely stay in the 30s and 40s with those clouds hanging around. Overall, as we look at the big picture, you can see the front is pushing to the south for now, but notice we're starting to see moisture returning over Texas and Louisiana. Yeah, that's our next rainmaker that's going to move our way. But again, for the rest of this afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine out there, so we're not expecting any rain, but those clouds build in by Saturday morning. And notice, you look closely, a little bit of pink showing up on the map. There's going to be a weak disturbance moving by. It could produce a sprinkle, a snow flurry, or maybe a sleet pellet. Not going to be a big deal or amount to much, but just something that could happen early tomorrow morning. So don't be surprised if you see that. Then we'll be stuck with the clouds throughout the rest of your Saturday. Now going into Saturday night, those clouds sticking up, and here's our next round of rain Saturday night. And by the time you wake up Sunday morning, we're going to be seeing widespread rain, pockets of moderate rain across the area, and that trend will continue through about at least lunchtime before we start to see some clearing from north to south into the afternoon hours. But overall, expect cloudy, chilly conditions on Saturday, and then rain as we go into the first half of your Sunday before slowly beginning to dry out. If you're not a fan of the cooler weather over the weekend, don't worry. Look at all the above average temperatures building to our west. That will spread our way as we go into the next several days going into next week. So you can see in your Storm Alert 7-day forecast, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the 50s today. We're looking at only the upper 40s to near 50s Saturday and Sunday with that rain, especially the first half of Sunday. Then pleasant weather, Latrice, as we go into next week with highs in the 60s and lows in the 30s.